Right, guys, welcome back. This is the Above Average FPL podcast. My name's Adam, and as always, joined by Baker. Welcome back, mate. How are you doing? You right?
Very good, mate. How's your summer?
Yeah, not bad so far. Not bad so far. Not enough golf, but not bad so far. Yourself?
Is this the longest we've gone without podding?
Yeah, definitely. We've always done something, but I
Yeah.
think this time we actually did take a month off, and I'm not actually sure whether that was the right decision. Just to be honest, I do feel like we should have just at least sat down and had a chat, maybe after each of the England games or something like that, just to keep things going. Maybe one
Do you feel
before.
do you feel rusty? I mean, you do the work.
I feel rusty. Yeah, definitely feel
I
rusty. I
mean,
mean, I started setting it up and I was just confused about what I needed to do. So, I mean, like as per though, you turned up and we're like, what are we doing? And we like neither of us had a clue. We're like, no, just got a couple of screens. Should we have this?
that's
Yeah, no, maybe. But it's more just
that's
to
the
have a
beauty of
chat.
it.
It's just more to have a chat. So hello to everyone in the chat that's joined us so far. I mean, I hope you guys are enjoying your summer as well. Nice and relaxing. You've reacquainted with family and friends.
You enjoy the Euros?
Yeah, I am. I watched a lot more. I watched a lot more of like. I'm glad actually. Watched a lot more of like match day one, and like I watched about half of match day two. Match day three, I kind of watched bits of. Obviously the England games, but yeah, it's been good actually.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it. It's been weird. It's funny how I've watched it like that because the performance drop off from all the teams has kind of followed that, which has been a bit weird.
Yeah, match day three is it is a weird thing that the group stages, and I think I mean, we're going to talk about do we read a lot into it about certain things, but no one wants to lose match day one.
Yeah,
Match day two is kind of jostling for position, and then depending on how you're doing, match day three is like just get out of the group.
yeah,
So the fun starts now.
yeah,
Fun starts now.
yeah. I mean, that's it. I mean, there's no hiding from the fact that England have been poor. That's
Yeah.
and we have. But like France have been pretty poor. The Dutch have been pretty poor. The Italians have been
Yeah.
pretty poor.
It's just Spain and Germany.
Yeah,
Realistically, in terms of the good teams, the two sorry, teams performing as we kind of expected, it's
yeah,
been Spain and Germany. Austria comfortably the team that they look like an actual team.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like whenever you watch international football, it always looks a bit like this is just chucking a few people together and seeing how they get on. It's very rare that you sort of identify ways of playing. And I almost feel like it's like the jigsaw pieces. You keep doing it and then go, oh, does that work a bit more? So you do the little things like, yeah, I'm going to put Trent in midfield and let's just see how it works with Gallagher. And now 20 minutes, let's just try Mainu on it. And what happens if we put Palmer rather than Saka? And it is as much as you can sort of feel your way into it by qualifying and friendlies and training and all the rest of it. You do still need to find your way actually in the match. Whereas Austria, the one team where you look at it and you're like, wow, this looks like an actual team. They press well, they move well, like everything looks incredible.
Do you think this is like a Rangnick thing though? Because you feel like he's taken something from that he's developed through club level and then just gone and just got them all to buy into it. And I don't know how Southgate manages the England team, the England setup, like day to day outside of the camps. Right? I imagine he's not just turning up at Old Trafford on a Saturday afternoon, shaking Luke Shaw's hand, and then going home and stuff like that. I'm assuming they're
Yeah,
building strategy around the way they're supposed to play. I mean, I'd hope so. They're kind of feeding little bits of information into the players that say this is how we're going to set up when you come to camp. Just so
yeah,
you're aware. Obviously, you don't want to obviously tread on the club's toes, so to speak, and give the players ideas that are going to be mixed messages while they're trying to perform for their club. But as soon, almost, you want them when they step on the field at St George's Park or whatever in training, and then on match days to turn to be aware of what's expected of them and how they're gonna set up. It's
yeah,
weird because I just don't. It feels like that sort of thing. I think that feels like Ranick's got that nailed down, and I think all the players as well know exactly what type of manager he is in
yes,
that respect as well. And because Southgate didn't have a higher profile role prior to managing England, whilst he has been England manager for a long time, I still don't think the players really understand, and especially
Yeah, there's
and the
not a
level as
managerial
well.
identity, is there? Do you know what I mean? Of stuff is like Klopp, he wants to play vertical football, and it's just and Rangnick's of that old, you know, red ball type way
Yeah,
of vertical football. If we can, a 4-2-2-2 type
yeah.
style formation, we get the ball forward quickly, we press high. These are my non-negotiables. This is what we do. Yeah,
Hold on, are you fucking Jake Humphrey?
that is it, though, isn't it? Like it is some. God, high performance. Perhaps Jake Humphrey should be the manager of England. Fucking high performance.
Can't believe you pull that out within 5 minutes. Jesus Christ. Okay,
Oh,
that way we're
God.
going.
But yeah, there is bits of it. But I think we're all very, very harsh on Southgate because we don't kind of expect there to be. Because you're like, well, you've been around a long time. You should do this. But stuff has happened in the last 12 months, which is very, very hard to plan. Well, Bellingham and Palmer, just in general. A year ago, Bellingham and Palmer are absolutely nowhere near anything to do with an England team. And now it's like
Palmer most definitely. I think Bellingham's knocking on the door at Dortmund before he goes to Madrid. As soon as yeah. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Nobody's seen him play when he's at Dortmund. Like anyone who tells you have nobody that hasn't got a moustache and some kind of like hipster tweet, tarted and played and wears all that sort of stuff. Like only those guys.
I've got you. Or plays Sorare, probably.
Yeah, but they still haven't seen him. They just check the numbers. Like people are still surprised at how big he is. They're like, he's really big, isn't he? Like, you're like, well, yeah, that shows how much you've seen him. But and therefore we don't exactly know what to do with him. Isn't it funny, isn't it? Like even the Bellingham thing, like in match day 1, it's like, right, well, we need to put all of our team around it. Now, like I keep seeing things about we should drop him, get rid of him. He's too big for it. He was getting angry. He was moaning at his teammates, get him out. Because we don't really understand it. And I think Southgate's almost in that place where it doesn't really understand what the best thing to do.
Almost it's almost a case of the players being bigger than the manager, and they literally are. Like you don't feel that about you don't even feel that about the Germany team with like Nagelsmann. Nagelsmann's like he's the guy, right? And like Deschamps been there for years, so the French have got no issues there. Mbappe's a big star, but Deschamps won the World Cup, so fuck it, who cares? And obviously, as you say, Rangnick has developed this style. He is the manager. Everyone knows him for this gegenpressing type football. And then you look at the players and you go, well, I know Sabitzer and I know this person and I know that person, but outside of that, it's like, well, okay.
Yeah. We know Schick will play, and we know Sabitzer and Baumgartner will be around him. That's kind of what we know.
Yeah.
I think the only thing where like it's impossible to ignore from a Southgate situation is the left back. Like for me, it just feels the most. Would you be happy with Kieran Trippier at right back for England?
Probably not.
Oh, no, I wouldn't.
No.
Like, so if you weren't going to try and shoot like if you're going to play a right back and left back, he better be so damn good that you were like, he has to play. Like we have to find a place for him because he's so damn good.
Yeah.
But realistically, I wouldn't want him at right back. I would much rather have Walker. I'd much rather have Trent. I'd much rather have Ben White than I'd have Trippier at right back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we should just not taken Trippier and taken an actual left back. If you're like, Shaw is my best left back, I really want to take him, then you don't take Trippier and you take Mitchell or you take Doughty. You take an actual left back.
Or you take players that have played left back, right?
You at least take a Branthwaite who's a left centre back.
It is mad.
And go.
It's genuinely mad.
There's genuinely no excuse for what he's done at left back.
I think it's compounded obviously by the fact that we're playing Foden in that position who wants to come inside and play, and when you don't have a wide left option, everything kind of just shifts to the right, and it's just very easy to defend. It's so easy to defend because anytime anyone gets into that sort of left forward position, every single person turns back on themselves and comes back and passes it around, and we're so horizontal, it's insane, and having really no width at all. when you're playing that kind of football is it's criminal. Like, if we're going to play like that, then play forward passes, right? I mean, it was so often you'd see Rice pick up the ball and, you know, Bellingham wouldn't be an option, or Trent wouldn't be an option, or Kane wouldn't even be an option, you know, just to move it into that space. Or, I mean, Saka's obviously going to stay right, but Foden wasn't coming in and collecting. And we've done.
Yeah.
I made that stupid comment in the WhatsApp group on the final Scotland game, saying that like Billy Gilmour has made more of these passes than we've made all tournament so far, because he did, right? And he was putting the ball into spaces where you want like your Phil Fodens to be, your Cole Palmers to be, your Eze's to be, these guys that are going to pick up the ball, turn, face the defenders, and make them fucking shit themselves, to be quite honest. Because that's the level of quality of player that we do have in England. Like, we have players that can turn on the ball and make defenders shit themselves. But we haven't used it at all.
No.
Like, not
but it's
at
easy,
all.
like you say, because they're 10 yards. That first game, Saka on the right-hand side literally skinned that left back whole game. That was
first hour,
first half. Yeah, so first half. But then you can just tell what happened at half time. They went, by the way, right, there's nothing down the left. So everyone can just move 10 yards further towards that touchline. And then you can get closer. And then the centre-back can cover. Everyone can cover. So then Saka basically was like 3 yards from the touchline at all times. And every time we got the ball, we just went through him.
Yeah.
And everyone's done that since.
Yeah.
So, you know, Saka, even now it's like, oh, well, maybe we should drop Saka and put Palmer in. Saka's had it hard, mate, like because he's just so easy to pin.
Yeah.
If you bring some more balance, like left back, just do anything. Even put Saka at left back.
Weirdly, Ian Wright said that straight after the third game.
Even just put.
Like, he's played there before. Just play him there. I think that's mad. I can't. I think it's a waste of attacking threat. I think you need to complement Saka with. I think you need to complement Saka with Gordon. I think you just need to have, you know, because then you get two options of threat, right? And then Saka becomes more open because they actually have to shift right.
Exactly. And even then, like, because Trippier is teammates with Gordon, at least if you are going to play Trippier, play Gordon on the left.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
but it's then, this is the problem. It's all the extra jigsaws, because it's then, oh well, I can only really play one of Foden or Bellingham then if I do that, and
that's like, fine. Just play Bellingham for 60, play Foden for 30. Like, the players are good enough.
It's fair, mate. I think to Southgate it's fair, because it's like, whoever you leave out, if you then lose, it's because you left that person out. Like, and I do think he has almost been waiting for them to have bad bits. But Bellingham was our best player in the first game. Foden's been our best player since, and so it's like, okay, maybe we can move.
At the moment, it feels like Southgate's stock hasn't been lower. Like, it just
no, it can't be.
So I just don't understand why now he just doesn't make the decision. Just make the decision, make the bold decision. Like, and if we lose, yeah, he'll get some shit, but he's leaving anyway, right? He's got it. Well, he's contracted until the World Cup, isn't he?
No, 6 months. That's also weird. Why would you contract him till Christmas?
Yeah, that's weird.
But none of it makes sense. And you do feel like they should try and find a place for Palmer. Just when he came on the other night.
Just when he came on, him and Mainu together, just instant connection.
Instant connection. Yeah. Mainu, definitely. What we got from Mainu, which we didn't get from Trent and Gallagher, was just movement. You know, he does pop up he covers so much ground. He's just astutely, unbelievably aware for a kid of his age, but he made so much good movement that the defensive midfielder, nobody else was like, I don't know where actually he's going to go here, so I'll keep, it creates one-on-ones with Palmer, and he was great.
Yeah.
So is it coming home?
I mean, look, so the thing is obviously people are saying, oh, well, now England have got like the easy side of the draw, then like and people are moaning about that, right? People are moaning, saying, oh, England got the easy side of the draw. We won the group. Like, what else? Like, if we'd have won all 3 games 6-0, we'd be in exactly the same position now as we are. like identical, literally identical. But no
And
one will be moaning about it
if this
right now.
tournament played out 100 times, we wouldn't get as good a draw situation as we've now got.
You just play in front. Just play what's in front of you. I mean, it's going to be well. We can work it out and go through it, but it's going to be something like obviously Slovakia and then Switzerland probably, or Italy, Switzerland or Italy, and then
Switzerland, really.
Whoever on the other side. I don't even know who's
The
on the
thing
other
is,
side.
though, mate, like as bad as similar, there's a difference of we've been pretty rubbish, yeah. But our expectation isn't that, oh, well, it's now knockout, we'll go up. But every single Italian will be like, okay, group stage is done. It's on to the stuff that we do. It's on to the stuff that we do. I still think I think the Italians will look at it completely different. They'll be like, wow, we couldn't have been worse. And now look at the half that we've got.
Yeah, they're all going to be looking at that. All the teams on that side of the draw are going to look at it like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even the lower ranked teams are going to look at it and go, "Oh, we've only got Italy and England on this side. Nice."
Austria.
I mean, I don't know whether you've watched like James Alcott predicting it, but like
I haven't.
Spoiler, if anyone wants to go and watch that, but he's predicted like an Austria-France final.
Yeah, I wouldn't back against it
because
at all.
Yeah, and those teams are going to be looking at it, licking their lips, saying, you know, there's an opportunity for them as well. There's just an opportunity.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Rangnet's fancying his chances.
Absolutely. So, what else do we want to talk about now? Then, do we want to talk about any of the other teams, or do we want to like predict, or what do we want to do? Or do
I guess well, we got FPL to think about at some point, but I do wonder. I was going to add something for us to think about or look at previous ones. What we got? 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks of Euros.
Bit more than that, I think. Have we not? There's a few gaps. Isn't the final like the 13th?
It ain't long then. Is
Yeah,
it
2 weeks on
until
Sunday.
After that,
2 weeks on Sunday.
2 weeks on Sunday. And then what? 4 weeks to the or 5 weeks
5
till the
weeks.
season starts after that.
Yeah. So
and they almost all have to give them 2 weeks off, don't they? Normally, that's normally the game. You normally have 2 weeks off.
Yeah. But they'll come back a little. They'll come back a week late, I reckon. They'll come back a week late.
I think most teams would be back normally start of July.
Well, Tottenham are back already.
Yeah.
Like players are coming in for training now already. But then you've got Copa America as well, right? Copa America.
Yeah, we have.
So you've got the guys still got to come in from there as well. I'm not sure when Copa America final is, but I'm guessing around the same date. Maybe the week after. Oh, it's the same day. Yeah, it's the same day.
I guess it depends how far teams go, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's only going to be 2 teams. There's no third place playoff in the Euros, is there?
I think there is. Yeah.
Is there? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there's only going to be 4 teams that make it all the way to like the 13th of July, because someone said it's the 14th is the final. So Dan's just said there's the Olympics too. That's not going to be a huge deal, is it? I know that Son said he wants to play, but
has he?
I think so. I mean, like he wants to play everything to do with South Korea. And like, how old is he? 30, 31? Son now?
Yeah.
I mean, so he's got one more Olympics in him probably. Like he'll be good enough to play one more. 39 might be pushing it. But
Modder's just done it, hasn't he? 38 he is.
Yeah. Mad.
It looks old now, doesn't he, old Modric?
Yeah. There's a lot of them. I mean, have you seen the Euros when we've had this many like basically OAPs playing football? Ronaldo, Modric,
Pepe.
Jeez, Pepe. Oh my word, Pepe. Who else is in there? There's another one in Croatia, isn't there? They've got like 3 of them.
Rakitic, still around?
Is he still around?
Brozovic looks old. I don't think he's that old, actually.
Cruz is 36, 37.
Cruz we've still got, yeah.
Yeah, I think England's got the third youngest squad out there at the moment, which
Yeah.
again makes me feel weird about the fact that he's not punting more on these younger players. But
If you had a bet now, who'd you go on
for what?
for the Euros?
England.
I think if you said to me right now, I think I would have to, just because that draw, that's also the draw. I think who's the team that's impressed? I think the Spanish have impressed me the most. Spanish and German, really. Spain, Germany, Austria.
The
They've been the
Germans had
best.
it. Germans had it easy though. In when I say easy, I mean they played Scotland first game, right? So they got a warm up, and then they got a red card handed to them after 45 minutes. So yeah, they got a training game and scored 5 goals and could then just cruise on. Pardon the pun, but they could cruise into match day 2 and 3 and be absolutely fine. And like obviously Fulkrug comes into those last half hours and just kills teams anyway.
How good is Fulkrug? I love him.
He just knows his job, right?
We
His
need
job is
Fulkrug. Bin that Kane guy off. We need a Fulkrug.
I thought you were talking about Tottenham then for a second.
Everyone needs a Fulkrug.
we could use him.
He's just a proper striker, isn't he? Like, I'm going to score some goals.
It was that header. I said to some guys, I said that you could not picture it more perfectly for a striker. Like the Kane, the first goal he scored in the North London derby, the first header he scored in the North London derby.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hanging in the air, straight across the keeper. No one's on the back post.
Goal.
They're just perfect as a striker. You just know that it's in. Like even you just know it's in already. I'll just put it there.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, England would probably. I would still punt on England. I think if you asked me to put some money down now, I would go and back England. I still feel pretty comfortable about that. I mean, again, the quality's there. It is there. We know it's there. Just hopefully we get the balance right in the team, and they just nail it. Right. That's what we want.
I can't see the balance getting worse. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like every game we can just get through, we'll find it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Feels hard to feel like we'll get it worse.
Yeah.
Gay, he's been brilliant. That's been the highlight for me. The England is so far is Mark Gay. He's been top.
Palace fans are looking at it and going, wait, don't be too good, Mark. Don't be too good. Like we've got problems with like Elise's gone, Eze's they're creeping around Eze. Like if they start coming after Gahey as well, we're going to be in worlds of trouble.
Yeah,
absolutely worlds of trouble.
That's definitely it. But it's cool from Gay, I think, because like effectively, it's relatively limited defending. It's just defending, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? He's not a big passer of the ball. You know, it is loads of blocks, lots of passes, plays, gets in. Yeah. Oh, it's not. He doesn't do any passing, but it's just that it's not. They're not taking your breath away. Do you know what I mean in terms of the progression? But yeah, it's he's been the star.
Yeah, Andy Mack saying will Foden be back in time?
Who knows?
I think that's a good enough reason to start with Gordon anyway. Like missing a couple of days. Like I get that it's directly, indirectly not his fault that he's had to travel back. I mean, it is because he's like having his third kid in before he's 23 or whatever. But you know,
you passing judgment on Philip Walter Foden.
Yeah, 3 kids at 23, madman, genuinely a madman. But it's 2 days of prep, right? 2 days of prep, 2 days of recovery, 2 flights, 2 this, 2 that. When I say 2 flights, they've obviously flown between the cities for the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think even if he does come back in time, I think he should be on the bench.
Yeah.
Prep without him.
Once it's back in training tomorrow, but
yeah, prep without him.
Just prep the impact of the bench.
Yeah.
And I do think there should be prep of saying, Bellingham, we want better from you. Like, and realistically, Bellingham and Foden probably should be competing for one place.
Yeah.
So, yeah, get Gordon on the left.
Should we predict the rest of the Euros?
You want to predict the rest of the Euros?
I want to predict the rest of the Euros just because it's fun. It's a bit more interactive. We can get people in the chat involved.
Let's do it.
We're just chilling out. We're just relaxing. So this is from the. I say we're going to get the chat involved. Anybody listening on audio, this is going to be horrific for you. Apologies in advance. But the round of 16, we'll go through the games, and then we can pick a we can pick a winner.
Read it out. We can
read. Yeah, we can read it out. That's fine. But we'll have some help in the chat as well. So, before you do help us, though, as FPL Soccer Crazy has said, if you want to like the video, that'd be fantastic. Just to let you know that we have lost 18 subscribers in the last month.
Dead channel, mate. Dead channel. No faith that we were coming back.
Absolutely zero faith. We've lost 18 subs in the last 28 days. Absolute disaster. So hit that like button, gets back in the algorithm, and gets back on track before pre-season starts.
That is a disgrace.
Foden has had the same amount of kids as the amount of passes he's made to Kane this tournament.
It's true.
That's fantastic. Wozzy, love you. Right, so round of 16. We don't have to spend too long on it, but Germany versus Denmark is the first game. How do you feel about that?
Germans.
Don't think Pierre's going to have anything to say about this game?
Germans.
Don't think it's going to be close? Germans. Anyone disagree in the chat? Let us know. Doubt it, but Switzerland, Italy.
That's more interesting.
This is a fun game.
That feels like get some pens nicely on the board early on. You
definitely don't want to be the first team to have to take penalties, or the first fixture. Nah. Yeah, it could go to pens.
Still back the Italians.
I think it's closer than that. I know you said that they might turn it on because it's knockout time, but
you fancy the Swiss?
They're not the strongest Italian team we've seen at all. And go on.
Just name, and you know it, but any of our front 7 or 8 options would be playing for them.
Mate, the only option I could pick in Sorare for a forward player for Italy, I think, was Scamacca.
Yeah. I know, we are bound to be disrespectful, but Chiesa's basically as fun as it gets. Nah, I'm not having them at all. All right, we'll go to Swiss. It doesn't matter anyway because we're knocking out wherever they play anyway. This
is true. They're not going to make it past the quarter, so it doesn't matter. Spain versus Georgia.
Or we could have just skipped the next 3 and just do Spain, England, Portugal, and just move on.
I think they're the right 3, right? But what have you made about people saying the Turkey Georgia game was the best game of the tournament so far and all this sort of thing? What's your kind of?
It's just chaos, isn't it? It's great. I enjoyed the hell out of it, but is it the best game or is it the most fun game? Most fun I had during a game. That's the most fun I had during a game.
Yeah, because you've got the better teams. The better teams are better coached.
It's just as good fun, if not more fun.
Yeah,
that was madness.
Yeah, it was. That was nuts. Yeah, so I was saying to people that you've got the better coach teams that are more structured, they're more disciplined, and they will work their way through the game. Whereas you've got basically, you imagine Spain, Germany, England, France, all that lot. That's like watching pro boxing, and then you've got Georgia versus Turkey, which is like watching a film about boxing where they just literally lay punches on each other for 3 minutes.
It's Rocky.
It's basically Rocky. Yeah,
Rocky 2. I'm going to go with that one. Is the rematch of Creed.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Spain,
England, Portugal.
England, Portugal. France versus Belgium. I think Lukaku's been so unlucky.
I think he's been the best striker in the tournament.
He's had the most chances, isn't he?
And no one can play him. No one can hold him. No one can do anything with him like that. He just bullies everybody.
Yeah.
It's mad how not only is he bullying them, but whenever he slides the channel down the outside of them, he beats them. He still beats them. The second, Dragusin was trying to stay with him. Dragusin, who was comfortably the best defender in match day one of anybody, was just phenomenal. Lukaku just bullied him, just flew past him. 22 years old, whatever. Dragosin, no chance of staying with it. That's going to be interesting. Him against, say, Saliba or good old Oopsie, who would definitely, yeah, well, he's definitely got an Oopsie Mikado in him every single game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some interesting matchups. Obviously, Kante's going to marshal pretty much everything.
It's when you say like Kante versus Tielemans that you're
like, shit. Yeah, it is a little bit like that. It is a little bit like that. And you go, oh, they'll play Mbappe down the middle. Maybe they'll play him just off the right, and they'll play Mbappe versus Vertonghen, and you go, that's probably a mismatch.
Yeah, and Mbappe
or Wout Faes, yeah.
Yeah, or Mbappe slides off to the left and goes up against Castagna.
Oh God, like any one of them.
France it is.
Yeah, France. I think we've got to France there. I think we've got to France. Yeah. Daniel Banks says, look at the centre backs. Yeah, the centre backs. Yeah, Belgium just don't quite have it. I mean, yeah, they just don't quite have it.
Yeah.
So the fun. I mean, I couldn't believe this stat. I couldn't believe this stat for Lukaku though. Just going back to him. Apparently, he's had like 11 straight seasons of 20 goals. And scored 85 for Belgium.
I genuinely am surprised.
That's over 300 goals in his career so far.
It's just the wages. It's just unfortunate that Chelsea gave him the stupid Chelsea wages, and then nobody else can buy him. But 35 million, whatever they want for him. I know he's 31 years old, but like Man United, like I'm sure they don't want another 30-year-old come and taking a big paycheck. But Man United, if they had him at number 9. Again, they could do with him. We could do with him.
Yeah.
Do you know who could do with him? Chelsea.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Arsenal could do with him. So I mean, like there's.
I don't know whether he fits Arsenal now.
I don't think he's much different to what they do with Havertz.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it's true. It's true. He does.
I still think he
still misses a bunch of chances.
But I don't think anyone in England is going near him anymore.
Romania versus Netherlands.
They were really good in that first game, Romania. Apart from then, I think back about it, and I'm like, well, Mudryk actually tore apart actually, and they just kept missing chances.
They did miss a lot of chances, Ukraine, and then Romania scored 2 bangers. I mean, people creaming over Stanchu in the Euro Fantasy.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I've never heard of this guy. Where does he play? And he plays in some like Czechoslovakian league or something like that for some weird team.
The Dutch will get through, mate. The Dutch will get through.
Okay. And are we so high on Ralph that we're saying Austria? We're so high on Ralph.
I can't believe how long it would take to the round of 16. We've got quarterfinals and semi-finals to go.
Mate, that's all right.
Like, these are actual.
It's fine, mate. It's fine.
Look, but this does now play out like how ridiculous the top half of the draw is versus the bottom half of the draw. Because look at this: Spain v Germany and Portugal v France.
It's genuinely nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, that's anything.
Again, do you think Germans just have too much discipline for that?
Are we stereotypical? Are we just going stereotypical Germans? Are too disciplined for it.
Well, no,
fancy old Spain. Viva España.
No, I just think that Kroos behind Wirtz and Musiala right now is just ridiculously good.
Yeah. It is interesting though that like Musiala and Wirtz and Havertz, especially Wirtz and Havertz, like can't make 60 minutes in a game.
But is that not by design? Do you think not a lot of it? Because I mean, you
don't think it's
how good how full Krug's been. The plan might have always been get him on for 30.
I don't think there's a good plan
Sane.
in the world that does 60-30. I don't think there really is that. I mean, Klopp will argue otherwise, but I'll say, well, that's why Pep's got all the championships.
But you might do it in the group games because they're 90 minutes, so you have to do that. Whereas with the 120 minutes available here, you might have to keep players on for longer in case of extra time and
But
stuff like that.
that would make sense if he hadn't played the hell out of everybody
Yeah,
despite being qualified.
already
He's,
qualified. This is true.
do you see what I mean? Like if he
Not
if he
stupid.
really was that way, he would have made a load of changes in the last game.
Yeah, felt very Southgate.
Maybe he is just trying to limit and do that space. But I'm like, hmm, I don't know. I don't know.
See, I tried to give
Um,
Spain some credit in the very first game, and you poo-pooed that idea by just saying Croatia were bad finishers and they should have beaten
I think
Spain.
I think I was just being hostile.
You were just winding me up.
Um,
That makes sense.
yes, yeah, I think it was. I've missed you. That's what it was.
So I don't know. Your mouse. This is the thing again.
Your Mao and Nico. Like, I want them to win. I want them to win. I want Ruiz and Rodri to beat up Cruz and Gundo.
We're saying Spain.
Yeah.
Okay, I can buy that. The French versus the Portuguese.
I think they're too fun.
Daniel Banks says it's a 6 p.m. kickoff, so Yamal can play the whole game. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. The child slave labor, basically.
Brilliant. Yeah, Portugal, France. Like, I just don't want Portugal to win because Ronaldo is he just annoys me now, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's just way too much. Like, you've had your time, you're doing your thing in Saudi or whatever. Like, it's time to move on from him. That said, that being said, like, obviously Conceição comes on and scores in match day 1, I think. Maybe match day 1, match day 2 when they needed the win, I think it was. But
what about Ronaldo, like trying to pretend like he's some
rubbish.
kind of creator? Like the number of times where he could have had the shot and he's laid it off like he's trying to change his image.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Boring French.
Austria versus the Netherlands.
Well, I'm Ralph. Like, I don't even know why we're having a conversation. It's all on.
With England. Yeah, let's just move on. Spain versus France to play England in the final.
Spain. We want Spain.
We want Spain. You just want to avoid a repeat of the World Cup.
It's probably the French in it, but
the thing is, the thing is if you go Germany here, I think Germany beat France.
It's true.
But I think if you go Spain, I think the French beat the Spanish.
God, do you know what? As soon as you just clicked it the other way, and suddenly it was like Germany England final, I was like, oh.
So it's I don't know what to do from here.
Do you remember, how old were you? Do you remember Euro 96?
I was 10.
Not really then.
I was 10. Not really. I remember exactly where I was.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Wow.
God, yeah. I was in my mate's front room. He lived 2 roads down. Little cul-de-sac. Watched the entire game in there. Then watched all of extra time. And then was kicking a football around a little bit for the couple of minutes waiting for the penalties to kick off. And then went back in. Remember, every single penalty went high. Like, literally every penalty went high, above the middle. Right? You imagine the box I'm in right here. Every penalty went up, right? Every single one, apart from Southgate's. Southgate's was the only one to not go in. And then...
even that, I didn't even really...
Yeah, mate, I know exactly where I was, and I remember exactly...
England, it was Germany, it would be Southgate. Oh,
yeah, and it'll be Yeah, exactly. It'll be Southgate again.
Change it. Put Germany win, and then us to the fun.
Germany, England final?
Yes.
Let's go. England winning.
This is how old I am. I was 17. So not only was I that old, that I was old enough to be able to go to the pub
No, you weren't.
Well, I was.
I, s- I say that as someone who went to the pub to watch England play. England draw 0-0 against Nigeria, I think it was, in South Korea. Went to the pub to watch that game. What year was that?
What year was that?
Japan South Korea World Cup.
Was that 2002?
So if I was 10 in 96.
Oh, are you doing this? You were 16.
Yep.
Oh.
16 in the pub, 7 a.m. beer. Beautiful.
I was 17. And the pub we did had it shut. As long as you were in there, you had to be in there. Well, it was early enough to not be a lock-in, as it were, but they shut the door to entry. And then it was a fixed price of £20.
Oh,
£20, and you could drink as much beer as you liked for between that and the end of the night.
£20 in 96 would have probably got you about
10 pints.
12, 10 pints.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's about £2, £2.50. And I will remember that shortly after Southgate, there was 3 of us went there. We all went and sat on the table outside, and sat on the table, obviously, not at the table.
Obviously, feet on the bench where you're supposed to sit.
And then between the bench and that, we all vomited.
Oh, nice.
We all vomited. And we'll always have that moment. We always reminisce, still friends, all 3 of us, of that moment where Southgate missed, we all walked out and puked it up.
Nice.
Living the dream.
Nice. Well, there you go. We've predicted that England are going to win the Euros.
Yep.
England are going to beat Germany in the final. If you want to give a shit for that, go for it. Drop it in the comments. The more comments, the better. Because you heard me mention about the lack of subscribers, right? We need to push that.
Yeah, we up that.
Yeah, we need to up that. If you haven't done so already, make sure you like the stream as well. That really helps us. And if you're listening on audio, we will be coming back to you very soon when the FPL game kicks off again. And so we want to start the preseason well. People are going to be out there going to be like, what FPL podcast can I listen to? And the ones they're going to lean towards are the ones with the best ratings on Spotify. So just go into Spotify, click those 3 little dots and go and rate us 5 stars. If you want, leave a comment, ask us a question, something in there. You can do it with your name, anonymously, whatever you want. Just chuck that in there, and we will be entirely grateful. It's free, takes like 30 seconds of your time, and we would really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, massive help for us.
Not too rusty there, which is good.
Look at you.
Sliding straight back
in. You. Yeah, we're working on it. For those that are on the YouTube, audio wise, there's not much else we can do for you, I don't think. Is hopefully we've got as good a mic as we can possibly do. Sorted all our cameras out last year, but we are still looking at the YouTube stuff, the thumbnails, our background, for example, those type of things. If you do have any feedback of things that you like or would like to see more of in that area, then please let us know. We're working on merch. We're a little prototype.
Yep. I haven't got mine.
A little glassy prototype is in the works, and things like that, all that stuff. We love all that.
Love all that stuff. We're also going to Fantasy Football Fest as well. That's been confirmed. Hotel is booked, so we're both going to be there. And we'll be there 16th of August. 16th of August? Yeah, it's that week, 16th of August. Or is it the 14th?
Yeah.
16th.
What you told me is the Taylor, is it Taylor Swift? No,
Taylor Swift's at Wembley.
That night.
So London's going to be busy, man. London's going to be busy.
If you had tickets to Taylor Swift, would you go to that Overfest?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to try and get out of Wembley, but yeah, probably.
Yeah,
probably would.
Season? Yeah. Are we there?
I don't know.
We're not there.
Let's talk fantasy. We haven't spoken about fantasy yet.
Oh yeah.
How's your fantasy?
I quite like the Euro fantasy. Do you know what? At first, I didn't like it
because you slipped right in right at the end. You were like, "Oh, I'm not going to play," and then you were like, "Oh shit, everyone's playing something."
I did. I have a few things that when I first started it, what I didn't like was, football. Fantasy football is very, very intrinsically linked with gambling. That's what it is. Um, and the idea of introducing almost like additional gambles into a game very similar to FPL made me feel, I don't know, I didn't quite like it. Like, so the gambling on a captain, the gambling on moving players in and out of doing stuff, not just I've set my team and then, we often talk about me in FPL. I've set my team and then whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
It's all down to variance then. But this isn't.
Yeah.
This isn't. This is that. And I
You've
guess
got
when I first
layers.
started playing in the first week, I was, I'm not a person that plays the Champions League game of this. So I didn't, I was like, this feels like gambling here, where I'm thinking about, oh, what should I do on this? I took quite a lazy sort of approach to it. I'll gamble. I'll just set that I'm just going to gamble on all of it. And then probably like after like the first game, I was like, if I consider it more a strategic than consider it gambling, of like, you can't help yourself. I'm trying to make it all nice and fun and loose, but you're like, if I just set some parameters of what I might want to do and think about the number of people I'd want to sub in at certain places and do certain things, then maybe I'll like that more. And weirdly, annoyingly, the more boring and strategic it got, the more I enjoy it. And I'm like, God, I'm disgusting. Um, but yeah, that was my initial view of it. I've played a bit of your lovely Sorare. Um, again,
How did you find that though? Because I mean, you sort of dipped in, and for a good reason, you sort of dipped out. But a lot of people, a lot of FPL guys, or a lot more FPL guys, have sort of got into it for particularly the Euros.
yeah.
I could obviously wax lyrical and talk good stuff because I play it and whatever. But how did you find it?
Well, you tell people what you can do and what you can do for free on Sorare first,
Okay.
because people might not have any idea what you can do on it.
So basically, the concept is every game you pick a five-a-side team. You pick a keeper, defender, midfielder, striker, and then
One
one
other.
other outfield player within a cap that's set by Sorare, and their each player's points is based on their form from the last 15 games they've played. So you do that, and then you pick a tactic. So it's either like passing, shots, pressing, duels, clearances, and dribbles. And then you get points. Basically, points accumulate. Sorare's scoring system is pretty complex. It's basically like BPS on steroids, but then you get all the points. And then you basically you can play against your friends. So the idea is the free stuff is you can play against your friends, and you can have like one-on-one battles with your mates, which is kind of cool. And then they also have like a division structure where you can move up and down divisions, and you play in what's called the arena, where you get one free ticket a day, and you can play one game a day for free. But there's like missions where you can win a game using tick-attacker passing, then you get another ticket. Win a game by 40 points or more, get 3 tickets, that kind of thing. And you can then also you
Yeah.
get tickets from winning 3. You win 3 arena games in a row, and they'll give you a box, and a box will contain some tickets or something related to the paying side of the game as well.
Yeah.
So you can win cards and all that sort of stuff. But for this purpose, it's tickets. And then they built like this Euro game where you compete in this league where you cooperate and work together, and this like all of the stuff that makes Sorare what it is with the scarcity stuff doesn't matter. They don't count any of that. You just get a proper score for your players, and then the top 5 people in your league, those are the scores that count. And then the top league gets a bunch of stuff. You get like 40 match tickets, you get 10 signed jerseys, you get to go and play 5-a-side football with Zidane. Yeah, that all that stuff's gone now for pretty much everybody, but there are a few people that are still doing that. But the free game is basically like, concept is 5-a-side against your mate, and you pick 5 players from either side of that game, and then you can play as many games as you like. So the arena costs tickets, but the mates bit is like any game you like.
Yeah. And that's it. I think that's the bit that I didn't really understand beforehand, is that there is a free version of this game. It's not just, hey, who puts the most in and whales it up by getting the best players will win the stuff. There is a free version of it, which I quite liked it. I think certainly, certain games, especially I sort of played it in games when they weren't always the games that you were that interested in from a fantasy perspective. So like, you think about like the Turkey Georgia game, I didn't have any players in that, but I was like, well, I'll play my Sorare on that because then I've got something that matters. And I think my way of playing it was I basically just picked a team and was like, I'd go, I'm going to go in on that team, and if it works, it works.
It feels like that's the biggest upsides, but the problem is all the games have been crap. So
Yeah,
I'm the same. I'm the same. I like to pick a team.
yeah. Um, and it's quite cool. You then get matched against someone you don't know them, but you can see their score and see their score, and you're like, oh no, he's done something that's going to put his score up, and oh, mine isn't. I did think that, yeah, it definitely helps those that want an accompaniment to the game, because you can't help but just refresh it loads because everything counts as points.
Everything counts as
Therefore,
points
yeah, so your points are changing all the time. Their
all the
points are
time.
changing all the time, all the time, all the time. So there is constant involvement in it that isn't necessarily goals. The bits that I found interesting early on was that, like, I immediately just wanted to play it like FPL. I basically just wanted to have the goal scorers, all of them. And I was like, well, he's a boring prick because he's just picked all the passers and done the passing stuff. And obviously he wins because it's a dull game. And I'm like, I don't like that I'm losing to people that are doing that. And that's probably not how I would ever play the game. You know what I mean? And therefore you're like, well, that's okay because I'm not paying for it. So I can play that. I can be that. I'm going to beat those type of people that do that. Whereas I think if I was putting money in it, you'd be like, wow, that way does often win because it's got a very it's got a
It's
very
it's
high floor, isn't it?
why I have Rodri, mate. It's
Yeah,
why.
it's got an unbelievably high floor. You know what I mean? Is that certain players like a Rodri, Modric, Ericsson's of the world, they're going to be involved enough in the things that their baseline is so high. But we know that from FPL, don't we?
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I think if anyone likes, an accompaniment, and I think it's, as I said, anyone wants to watch something where it's like constantly working and it's not costing you any money, yeah, get it.
yeah. I've just got it here. So yeah, I mean, I've joined the arena for Panama versus the USA at 11 o'clock. Oh, your lineup doesn't lock in until kickoff, by the way, as well. So you get lineups, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice for a daily game. I
I
did also
definitely
say,
wouldn't do this bit, by the way, just so you're aware. Like putting going in on a match that I wasn't actually watching. Like, I'm like, nah,
yeah, no,
no
that's fair.
interest.
Obviously, as you say, today there's no games. That's why we're on.
Yeah,
But I said to the boys in my chat that I was going to do. This is weird. You can build and craft your own cards. So I said I was going to do this on the stream. So I'm going to just do that for them now. And I'm just going to find out what card I get, just for fun.
what does this mean by you get a craft?
Don't know how clinky it is. I've got a Georgian forward, plays for Napoli, maybe. Oh no,
Oh, that would have been nice, wouldn't
that
it?
would have been good, wouldn't it? I've got Davishvili. I have no idea who that is. I'm now
Nah,
disappointed. But oh well,
it looks fun, though, doesn't it? Looks
looks fun.
pretty.
Anyway,
Looks pretty.
it is what it is. Dan Banks asks, which player surprised you in the Euros?
Surprised me in the Euros. I didn't know anything about Fabian Ruiz. I thought he's been
That's fair.
fantastic in very little, if not nothing. Um, that's
That's about it. Because I think
Gahey. Gahey's
Mark Gahey,
definitely.
yeah.
If you said to me the main one I has, it'd be Gahey. Yeah, I think we've all gone into this tournament going, wow, we've got all the attacking, but I'm not sure about the defense. That's what we've all been saying.
Yeah.
We've got all
I
the
tweeted
defense,
that.
and yeah, and look
Yeah.
at us.
Yeah. No, I think I mean I think Yamal has surprised me a little bit. Just because I didn't really
Yeah,
know who he was, and well, I did know who he was, but I just knew who he was. I hadn't watched him play. Like even like Arda
yeah,
Güler as well.
yeah.
Like
So
these
good.
young
I
kids
mean,
just so comfortable on the ball. They just love it. And again, this is why you just want Cole Palmer on the pitch.
yeah. Nico Williams looks just the real. I mean, we've been linked with Nico Williams all season, so we've been secretly hoping we might be able to get him in the summer. You watch him play, and you're like, we ain't getting him at Tottenham.
um, Miguel says Kante didn't realize he was still this good. Yeah, I mean, when they disappear off to that side of the world, to the Middle East, you just see very little of them. You just don't know what's going
Yeah, it
on.
was almost surprising, wasn't it? So they were like,
Oh, he's still there.
Oh, he's still playing.
He's still playing. Yeah, I don't know whether there's anybody else.
No.
No, I don't know.
No, nothing in terms of signings for the league so far. Has there been? There's no big signings for Premier League. Interestingly, this evening, sounds like Chelsea are after Dewsbury Hall, which would be
Whatever.
I mean, well, it's a big deal. I think in terms
bigger
of
deal
it.
for Leicester than it is for Chelsea.
Well, I mean, I looked at obviously when they signed Maresca, that the first thing that shoots out to you. Wow,
Should be back now.
should be back now. Don't know why. Well, I'm saying I don't understand why.
You were asking me how ridiculous. So I don't know what people missed,
Signings
but
are.
you were just asking me how
Yeah.
ridiculous the swaps are, and I said, well, it's just. I mean, the Premier League coming out with a spokesperson and saying that we need to find out whether the clubs are acting in good faith. To be honest, I think is just ridiculous. What they've done is they've gone, oh crap, that we didn't think that was going to happen. But the problem is, there's always someone more intelligent than the people making the rules that's going to work out a way to bend them. Right? They're being bent. They are, but they're just being bent right now. They're not. In fact, they're not even being bent. To be fair.
Well, they're not being bent, and eventually there is some catch up. So effectively, let's just take Chelsea selling Maatsen to Villa, and then Villa sending a 19-year-old that none of us can already not remember the name of. For some 18-year-old for 19 million back. So effectively, to make it accounting easier, let's just say they spent 36 million on Ian Maatsen. So Villa will apportion that over 6 years. So for Villa, they've effectively spent 6 million a year for the next 6 years.
Yeah.
And for Chelsea gain their 36 million now. Yep. So one team takes it now, the buying club spends it over 6 years. Then the other way around. So Villa then send a guy for 19 million. They claim they're 19 million. So Villa now have made a 13 million pound profit in this window.
Yeah.
Chelsea put their 18 million over 6 years, cost 3 million a year. So Chelsea have made 33 million pound profit this season. Villa have made 13 million pound profit this season. So both teams have made a profit this season, despite the fact that what's actually happened is Villa are 17 million pound down.
Yeah.
Good. So all you need to do is just keep mucking around with players, and you can't help but make a profit. And what they're banking on is that next season, Chelsea and Villa, Villa will get Champions League money. So that sorts that out. And Chelsea will bank on that they're doing enough that they'll get there at some point. And what they'll do is they'll keep fucking about with these things to eventually get there.
Yeah.
And it's just people moving money around.
Yeah.
Hoping it works out. Yes. But they've kind of got to do it to, one, comply, and secondly, to try and get into the top 4.
Yeah.
Or stay in the top 4. It's tough. And what's weird is that, we know that Man City, the team that everyone wants to try and catch, we know that they're there. And that ain't right either.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a weird world. It's a weird world where there's going to be probably more money change hands. At the end of the season, at the end of the transfer window, they say how much money moved, and it'll be like
14 billion
money.
This
is the most money that's ever moved, and you'll be like, what are the transfers?
350 academy kids have just worked their way around the country in a loop.
And even that's weird, isn't it? So if you're an academy kid, this guy who's gone to Chelsea, we might never see him again. And he's had a £20 million.
Probably it's probably on like £5 grand, £10 grand a week.
I if if you're being, I don't think he would be.
No, he probably
I
wouldn't be.
I remember I remember the old Football Manager days, like about 2019 or so. I remember suddenly seeing that, like, you go and try and buy all of Chelsea's kits because Chelsea had loads of good kits, and you're like, I can't get any of them because they're all on 70 grand a week. But they were able to offer them ridiculous contracts because they immediately loaned them all out, so they were never paying those wages. Yes, it's definitely going to be a weird odd summer.
Colm's in the chat. He asked a question on the post. Do you think we're going to get much influx from the Euros into the Premier League?
I just don't. The thing is nowadays is how often do you see transfers for people that either are in favour and don't have a release clause?
Hmm.
It's really rare now. No one actually just goes out very often and says, here's your top dollar. You either buy someone because they've got a release clause. So we know Nico Williams has got a release clause. We know Eze's got a release clause. So there's the type of players where you're like, well, they've got a release clause. Yeah. So you're going to get them for sort of fair value. Or you get the players where their team don't want them.
Yeah. And so much, I mean, I think we were brought up when, obviously we go back to the Cisse one, right? The Senegal guys.
Yeah.
Where, yes, probably the scouts had more visibility than obviously your normal average fan. But, you know, I can have access, if I want, I can have access to the same information that Premier League scouts have now.
Yeah.
I can just go and pay for it. I can just have it. Like, what I'm saying is that, like, the clubs know the players already. Like, they know the players already. They don't need the Euros to see anything. They don't. So will we see anyone come in? Maybe, but only because these are targets, right? They're targets. They're not all discoveries. They're targets.
They're never discoveries. And I mean, even without having it, right? So I can go here and go, oh, right, I'm just going to go to FBF. Yeah, we said it last season, didn't we? Like when Villa signed Diaby, we were like, we're just going to, similar
like
to Mo Salah. It'll be all right. Pick him.
Do all right. Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like genuinely, you could just do that nowadays, right? I'm going to put Mo Salah in. I'll just put Mo Salah in. Let me see who the similar players are in profile. Sané, Foden, Liao, yeah. Jonas Hoffman. I don't know Jonas Hoffman, don't much Leverkusen, but I bet you he's good.
He's all
Cole
right.
Palmer,
He's more
Rafinha,
midfielder, isn't he?
Dembele, Eden Zegrova. Do you know Eden Zegrova from
Yeah,
there?
he's young. He's oh god, I had a card of his in Sorare, funnily enough.
So he basically had made you an actual scout.
Eden Zagrova, where did it? I know he's got a bald head. I just know he's got. I can just remember the card.
Yeah,
I can't remember him now.
these guys, if they've got the profiles, they turn up. And that's honestly
He's
some
at
of it.
Lille
That's what I do.
at the moment.
Yeah, he's at Lille, yeah. But even some of it, I'll be like, oh, he was pretty good. He was pretty good. Oh, I'm just gonna go and see if I think he actually is any good, or whether it's not quite as it sounds. You know, it's pretty easy now to do that sort of stuff. Even if we can do it, clubs. There's no surprises for clubs anymore, is there?
No. Nope.
Calafiore, Calafiore,
Calafiore, the Bologna.
I love him.
I'd never heard of him.
Never heard of him in my entire life, but I absolutely love him.
All that I know about that sort of connection is that he plays for Bologna, and Bologna have a Scottish guy who's injured. That's all I know.
Oh, they do. The guy from Aberdeen.
Is he from Aberdeen? Didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Didn't even know that.
Yeah.
We're over an hour in, mate. So do we want to talk about any fixtures at all? You want to
We'll do
go?
that in a few weeks, shall we? We'll do that in a few weeks. You said we
We-
should do more.
We had them here, but yeah, screw it.
Let's do another one after England.
Oh, mate.
We're off.
We're off. Thank you to everyone that's joined us in the chat. Apologies for the technical issues. You can see that we're just back to normal, which is good. Roberto says Portugal to win the Euros. Fair enough. FPL Soccer Crazy says Eze to Tottenham. Maybe. There's chat. Declan Rice, what? I don't know what that says. A propos of not very much. Don't know what that means.
That's definitely an Arsenal fan of some kind.
Declan Rice, the GOAT.
Can we talk about so I have to agree this because I was in absolute denial of this. Was the match day 2 was how bad Declan Rice is, but genuinely, how bad has Declan Rice been?
Oh, horrific! Like, and again, this is the square pegs round holes. Like, I know he can play in the 6, but he plays 8 for Arsenal, right? Partey sits behind him, where absolutely possible they'll play him at 8. West Ham didn't play him at 6 either.
A Jorginho or a Partey of whenever they play, Rice plays better.
So why would we not play Mainu behind Rice and Bellingham, or Rice and Foden, or Bellingham and Foden? Just pick 2 out of those 3 players and play them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pick those 2. Don't pick a Trent. Don't pick a Gallagher. Pick Rice in one of them, and then pick Mainu behind him. Play Gordon on the left, Saka on the right, Kane up top. Everyone's happy, no?
Everyone's happy.
I think that feels really good. Oh, and someone's just joined us right at the end. I don't know whether you can see that in the chat.
Oh,
Lewis has just joined us. So yeah, hopefully you'll be seeing more of, well, not Lewis himself, but his work as
he's a busy man. So Lewis, who does our thumbnail design for us. We are tasking him to do more for us, including our thumbnails for the season, because otherwise it's me doing them, and that's bad. But he's a busy man. He's doing stuff this week. Who's he doing stuff for?
Solihull. I saw he put some stuff out for Solihull Moors.
Oh, mate, he's fancy. Ferrari.
Awesome.
He's doing Ferrari this week. So we need him to do some work for us, but he's got
Ferrari.
He messaged me earlier, said they wanted him to do a bit more work next week. I'm like, God.
Yeah, okay, they might be the priority.
He's done. I've noticed it. I saw some of the tweets that come out from the England account, and I was like, that's his work. You can see that. So doing stuff for England, doing stuff for Ferrari, and doing stuff for us.
Sounds good.
It's pretty cool.
Sounds good. We'll leave it there.
Yeah.
We don't know exactly when we'll be back, but Baker, you want to not have such a long hiatus.
You literally said it earlier of we should have done something after every England game.
I did say that.
You did say it. I'm just jumping on your bandwagon.
Okay. Well, we'll figure something out. I don't think I can do this weekend though. For some reason. There's a reason.
No, we're not doing this weekend.
No, maybe like a week's time or something.
Yes.
Maybe after the quarters.
Maybe we could just do Thursday nights like we've always done.
Maybe. We'll leave it there. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, review, rate, click good buttons, comment, and
comment again.
I now need to find the. I'm spitballing because I'm trying to find the end screen. I've forgotten how to do it.
3 stars. No, 5 stars.
5 stars, please. Yes, 3.
I do.
5. 5.
Do that,
yeah,
mate.
5 stars. Right. I'll catch you later, mate.
Do that, mate.